Good evening, Reskin enjoyers. Hampton Wikes. It's time for the predictions video. Yes, just about an hour or so ago, these skins rotated into the Rust store, and basically we're going to go ahead and try and figure out which of these skins potentially might be the best investment this week, which of these skins potentially might give us some of that sweet, delicious looking profit. Now, I'm going to be quite quick with this, but looking at all of these skins, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, I don't see anything that's like clearly, definitively making me feel super confident, alright? I am very surprised to see that we had 2 Poncho skins being accepted and 2 Sheep Monitors being accepted. Probably not the best timing for that. Well, is there anything here that things could work out quite alright? Well, I'll try my best to explain everything in regards to why I'm a bit cautious but still somewhat confident in some of these skins. But there's some of these skins I just don't really have a lot of faith in. So let's jump in, let's start discussing. Let's start off with the likes of the high quality metal base box. So, I will sit here and say this did get a lot of traction on the likes of Twitter. Lots of people did notice this. A lot of people did show their approval and whatnot. However, when we look at this, we do know that it's a continuation of the stone base box that was accepted not too long ago, and that has done very well. We did look at all the small box skins back then when that first came out, and there weren't that many doing very well. Yet that has done fine. Now that we got a continuation, I can confirm, looking at the front page of the Rust Steam market, that yeah, lots of people did in fact buy out the stone base box. But I have to ask you, I have to question you, is this a collection of skins? Because in theory, there's going to be the wooden one getting a redo. We'll probably have a sheet metal one, maybe a shack. There could be 5 of these small box skins being produced. But are people going to buy all 5, or are they only going to buy one of them? Only like one of them? Only show appreciation for one of them? Do you understand the potential problem? Will they potentially be negatively affecting each other because they're clamouring for your attention? Do you get what I mean? Like, who in their right mind probably will want to buy potentially all 5 of them for $12.50? Maybe they're not going to buy them all in one go. Fair enough, understood. Maybe they're only going to buy them bit by bit as they go along. Okay, that's cool. But will it get to a point where only one of them is being used? Like, do they only prefer to use one and they can't be bothered to use all the other ones and whatnot? That very likely could be the case. Like, okay, some role players might want to build like some miniature like villages and whatnot. Cute, fine, that's nice, but will there be enough people actively wanting to use it, buy it, enjoy it? You get the idea. So, yeah, I feel like they're competing with each other rather than accompanying each other. Like, if we had like a large box and a door and whatnot, okay, that'd have been nice, that'd have been cool, but no, that's not what the original design was. So, I do expect another attempt with the wooden base box. I fully expect a sheet metal one, and if they're all accepted, will they all stay happily, positively doing okay in terms of their price in the Steam market, or will they, as I said, compete with each other for your attention, and then either only one of them stands out all right and does good, or they all suffer because they, there's no one clear definitive well-liked one, or rather they all just aren't like collectively super in demand. So I will sit here and say this. At least we have a very clear thing to compare to. Skin. It's late. But yeah, like, will we see high quality base box compare and match up to the stone base box in terms of sales? I don't think so. I honestly think all the skins here aren't going to be selling that much this week. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. I just don't really think loads of people are going to be going super crazy for all of this. I thought initially that would probably be the best-selling skin of the week, but Gold Chains does appear to be doing quite all right at the moment, so we'll see how that turns out. But do you understand the potential problems I see? And, well, yeah, it's a very straightforward one, but like I said in the past, with the likes of these small box skins, the vast majority of them aren't doing super well, and there's a lot of them in the negative. So some of the recent ones are doing quite all right, but then you've got these two, and then you scroll down to last year, and that's not looking very pretty, is it? No, we've had a lot of bad-looking investments with the likes of small boxes. So, at the very least, it's abnormal. You knew I was going to say that, but of course I'm going to say it. It's always the safest way to invest into the likes of these Rust skins. So, I'm going to wait till Wednesday, see how many sales have happened, and I'm going to discuss what prices I'm going to probably want to offer. I'm going to do my abnormal barders. Afterwards, I'm going to look at all the abnormal barders that are put in place, and I'm going to see, does this have enough like barder support? Does it have enough barders put down to see if this will actually retain its value and do a decent job in staying up in price and whatnot? I gotta wait and see. So yeah, by all means, if you like the skin, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them motivated, keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. But as the investor looking at this with a financial perspective, I'd rather wait it out, use the abnormal time advantage, and then see, will it actually hold up, or will I just stick with doing a buy order, you know? Do I actually want to jump in and buy some, use the abnormal time advantage, right? Cool. What next skin could I potentially talk about? I'll talk about gold chains, but I'm not super sure, right? So, of course, this is a fairly expensive $3 poncho with a lot of transparency, as you can see right here. And this was an early pick. This was submitted literally this past weekend and instantly was accepted. Cool. But when I first saw this, I thought this was a little bit too ridiculous. I thought, no, surely not. This can't be accepted. It was early pick, instant. Okay, fair enough. So let's question this. Does that look like a poncho to you? Not really, no. Could that be utilised to potentially deceive some people? Well, people see that from a distance, they're going to know that it's the gold necklace and therefore know it's a poncho, so... But does it actually even look good? Like, it's not like when you go in game and look at it, it's all 3D. No, it's a flat surface. It's a flat plane. So when you look at the guy from behind, you'll see through the gold chain and whatnot. In fact, you can actually see it in one of the images here. I mean, it's there somewhere. I can't seem to find it. Oh, there you go. You can see how you can't even see underneath it there, for example. So, I don't know, but a $3 price is pretty pricey. And, of course, when you look at all poncho skins that have come out somewhat in the somewhat recent past, you'll notice that pretty much every single one of them is in a negative. In about 3 years, we've had so many of these being accepted that they technically all compete with each other for your love, for your attention, and unfortunately, it's not working out super great for pretty much all of them. So, $3 price. It is the most expensive poncho skin we've had in a Rust store for about 8 years, and I'm not joking there. Will that do a decent job in selling a lot? Well, at the moment, it's the top-selling skin so far, but it's abnormal. Yeah, smartest thing to do is wait it out, look at this on Wednesday, consider, has it sold too much? We'll see. We'll consider a buy order price, we'll do the buy order, we'll look at it afterwards, look at the buy order support, exactly like I said with the high quality metal base box. We need to see if this genuinely has a good chance of retaining its value, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe we're better off just sticking with a buy order. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not super confident in it, but I could see so many people just appreciating it for the sheer goofiness of the design. It's a perfectly fine skin to a point, but I thought that was too much for Rust, and apparently not. Maybe they just rushed to pick out some skins because the Rust store was very late today. Yes, it was. Last week super early, this week super late. So we'll leave it for now. As I said, we'll look at it Wednesday, but I'm not fully confident with it, and that's why I can't sit here and say, oh guys, it looks great. Yeah. Do you reckon that could have a continuation? What could follow up a gold chain? At the very least, keep an eye on the workshop and look at the comments and see if anybody asks about that and whatnot. I don't really seeing it having a continuation. I will probably be wrong. We'll keep an eye out, but I don't think there's going to be anything to really give it a boost. So it's going to have to purely work with, do people find it funny or great to use, or yeah. So will it be utilised as a nice deceiving tool, or yeah. So if you like it, by all means, buy one for yourself. Okay, so I'm not really confident in these two. Is there anything else that might potentially kind of work out quite all right? I'm going to have to say Norseman Tier 3. By default, it's the first core piece to be accepted for this potential set. Are we going to see hoodie and pants? Are we going to see Tier 2 armour? Well, Mr. Caglian here, he hasn't got a ton of skins accepted, so by default, I know for sure he's going to be going ahead and producing hoodie and pants and Tier 2 at some point relatively soon. Is he experienced enough to put them out quickly? I don't know. Will we have potential impatient investors dumping these too quickly? Probably. But they're 99 cents each. And whilst these two appear to be the skins that have a lot of attention at the moment, maybe they sell very reasonably. Maybe they only do about 10,000 sales. And you know what? 10,000 sales would be okay. I can't guess right now, but we'll find out. You know, these two skins, they are not abnormal, so we don't have that time advantage. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you, by Wednesday we'll probably have a good idea of what we want to offer, and chances are we probably will be just sticking with just a buy order. But remember this, even the likes of Cyber Collection, so if I go to the previous week, when that first got acceptances, nobody cared for it, right? Cyber Tier 3 was selling for 50 cents each. When the Tier 2 was accepted, it did bump up to over $1 at one point, but it did go back down, and then the Tier 2 went down in price. But then we got the hoodie and pants being accepted not too long ago, and it's just been rising up to $2. And all of this was in the positive at one point. Now it's starting to dip back down again, because I don't think there's anything else that could help that. But the main point I'm trying to get across is, with continuations, or more specifically core pieces, doesn't matter what it is and doesn't matter how low it is, if you see continuations that are core pieces, the pre-existing core pieces will spike in demand and spike in price. And that can happen to Norseman. But personally, I can seeing it going down in price. It's a perfectly fine design and whatnot, but I can see something like this just not really keeping interest. So I respect the design. Good job, guys. Congratulations on getting your second and third skins accepted. But will you continue it? We'll have to wait and see. So I'm not super confident, but I know how things work out. That continuation will just make it go up regardless. All right, then. So I am also somewhat confident in the likes of Craboo, Bandana, and Poncho. Partly because I don't think they're going to be selling that much, especially with the Poncho, considering you have that Poncho right there. But yeah, we've got Craboo Boonie Hatch. Remember that from just about a week or two ago? So that did pretty good with its sales, 17,688 bare minimum sales. That's its subscriber count. And yes, with the primitive skins being accepted, the Craboo Boonie Hat is right there, comfortably on the front page because loads of people bought it out. So that's nice. People clearly do seem to appreciate this to a point. But will we see more? Could we see potentially Craboo burlap and shirt, Craboo hide shirt and pants? Will we see burlap shoes, leather gloves, maybe even some sort of claws with the road sign gloves? That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I don't know, but I don't expect these to sell that much. I really don't. All of these other skins seem to be ahead in terms of attention at the moment, and I don't think we'll be matching up to the 17,000 sales we saw for that Boonie Hat right there. So, that might work out pretty interestingly. But in terms of bandanas, I mean, the recent ones we've had haven't been doing super great, really. And then you go look at the ponchos again, and, well, same thing. Oh, dear. So, both of these are abnormal, right? They're going to be appearing on the Steam market a lot earlier compared to some of these other skins. So we need to use that to our advantage. We'll look at it Wednesday, discuss the price to offer, we'll engage it, and then we'll see how things turn out in terms of its barter support. But looking at that with true honesty, I can't really see it doing perfectly fine. But if we do see more continuations, more primitive skins, it could work out alright. But you know what? We've been waiting on the likes of Skullforce, for example, and Sean Mick, the man behind that collection, has been producing a lot of very cool looking primitive skins to continue this collection. No acceptances, so don't assume it's a definitive thing that's going to happen. Alright, so that's why I'm not super confident with it. And now, the final remaining skins, I don't really have that much confidence in. Tomb of the Octopus, Sheepman Adore. We've had a lot of very cool looking Sheepman Adores come out very recently. In fact, so far this year, we've had 14 skins accepted. Yep, that's a problem. But more specifically, 2 weeks ago, we had the likes of the Shadowborn Sheepman Adore to just over 20,000 sales, part of the Shadowborn collection, with, it had the large box being accepted afterwards, which gave it a boost. It's already down by 23%. Blocky Lighthouse did not sell that much. It's only just became marketable, technically speaking, but with what we see here, give it another week or so, look at it again. Will that still be in the positive, or will it just be barely hanging on? We'll find out. But the main point is, we've had a lot of very cool looking Sheepman Adores, and then these two appear. Now, I don't think these are going to sell that much, alright? Okay? But I was talking more specifically about Tomb of the Octopus Metal Door. See, this at least could be building up to becoming a deplorable collection. Alright, but if you've seen the likes of my Rust Workshop skin checks, if I go over to here, my most recent Rust Workshop skin checks, I looked at all the deplorable skins that were submitted this past weekend, and there's like 10 continuations of collections. There are so many collection continuations vying for a spot in the Rust store. So in terms of all the deplorables, and just to point out, you can always go over to here to look at the video, I always add chapters for each collection continuation if you just want to skip ahead to all of that. There's so many vying for a spot that I just can't see every single one of them definitely getting a continuation, definitely getting an acceptance. Yes, that garage door's boosted up in price for now, and yes, it's on the front page, it got bought out, but will that last? I don't think so. The Shadowborn Sheepman Adore didn't last, did it? More listings will appear, price will go gradually down, and I worry for it, and I worry for the Sheepman Adore as well. I do believe we will see Mr. Himmick, producing more deplorable skins, much like everybody else, but they're all competing with each other for a spot, and there are no guarantees that they're definitely going to get a spot. Does that make sense? So I worry for it, and I know we're going to see another Sheepman Adore being accepted potentially next week or the week after that. It's not going to surprise me. Sheepman Adores are in abundance in terms of skins. We have 222 now, I believe, and there will be a lot more, whether it's in the Rust store or as a Twitch drop. it's inevitable. You will see a lot more. Last year, we had 30 of them. And at the current pace we're at, we're only like a third of the way through the year. We might end up with 45 by the end of the year. Ooh. So do not be surprised if this goes below its rostral price and potentially fairly low. And then you got Hazzy Sheep Minador. Now, this one, I mean, first ever skin to be accepted for CGS. Props to him. Congratulations. But where does it go from here? And do you like the design? Are you a fan of this? It's goofy. It's silly. But is that enough? Does goofy and silly last forever? I don't know. But I could see this easily being turned into a deplorable collection. But what did I just say? There's tons of deplorable collection skins being submitted for continuations. And they can't all be accepted. So I don't know, but keep an eye on the comments, see if anyone's going to ask and sit here and say, hey, you going to produce anything else? I mean, I could easily see that potentially being turned into a set. Imagine that, but, you know, hazmat furnace or wooden door or, I don't know, a chair, I guess. We shall see. If he's smart, I wouldn't do just hazmat. I'd probably do, like, scientists and whatnot. Maybe, yeah, it could, you know, do all the NPCs if you got enough, I guess, and do a whole different deplorable for each of them. It kind of would be like blocky. But blocky collections referencing various different monuments with different, you know, deplorable skins. We'll see. But I don't feel super confident in sheep minadors. They tend to be pretty bad investments, with the vast majority of them ending up in the negative pretty badly. And now for last, again, you might sit and say, Black Diamond LR300, $4, surely it's going to be okay. No, there are no guarantees in regards to that, especially when it comes to LR300 skins. Now, it's a pure black, cool-looking LR300, but if you look at all the LR300 skins, you can clearly see this has a gun demand issue. How often are you even using it? Is there any justification to actually, you know, run around and use a skin if you're not hard... Where's the justification to own and use the skin if you don't even use the weapon that much? That's the main point I'm trying to get across. There's also another thing, you know, I just talked and said, you know, this is a cool looking black LR300, you know, continuation of the AK-47 we had a couple of weeks ago. You can see the red aim sight there. I'm talking too fast, sorry. But hey, if I were to just go down here a little bit, for half the price, guess what I can buy when it loads up? Just a little scroll down here, and I see it right there. What is it? It's the Blackout LR. $2. $2. I could buy this for half the price. And it's a Blackout skin, so it's more likely going to retain its value. Don't want to sound mean, but Blackout skins do very good to retain their value. Even if it's like a weapon here, where it doesn't get used as much compared to most other weapons, still does a spectacular job retaining most of its value throughout all of the year. In fact, I can show you its history. It might go up and down every now and then, but it's stable. And it don't go down much. In fact, I don't think it even went below its rustore price here. So, you get the idea. Why would you want to have that Black Diamond one when you can just have this with the same aim sight and whatnot? And now you understand problems to that. And of course, if you go look at the Black Diamond AK-47, it's down by, what, 29%, 30%? It's down by a third. Now, I'll also point out, do you know how I've been pointing out and saying, look, you got the likes of Tomb of the Octopus there, Stone-Based Box, Craboo. People reacted, people bought into those. Nobody cared for the AK. Nobody jumped in. Nobody like jumped in and bought them out. So that right there, that LR300, I do not expect much for it. And then, just to point this out and reiterate, Mr. Bad Trip has had an expensive weapon collection in the past called Black Gold. Go see the state of those skins now. Here's the AK, sold for $5 in the Rust store, now it sells for $1.43. Black Gold MP5, $5, $1.62. Black Gold LR300, sold for $5, now it sells for $1.52 on the Steam market. So that is why I am not confident in the likes of that. And that's a wrap, basically. It is a very, very weird Rust store. Like, I don't know what's their method for choosing skins and whatnot. I'd love to know. But you know how I keep bringing up the likes of Micro's website here? You know, if you can't be bothered to set up a followed authors list, you can see all the newest skins being showcased. Like, I could just click date submitted and you'll see all the newest skins that have been submitted. These skins here, they were too late for the deadline. Very naughty. But more specifically, the useful thing that we see here are all the upvotes. You can see the Steam scores and whatnot. But when it comes to the likes of these brand new skins that are accepted today, quite a lot of these skins did not have any interest in them. Now, in the top two, I can see it. Maybe the Poncho as well, sure. But then it just dramatically drops off in interest. Hardly any upvotes, hardly any downvotes. And then the lower two skins here have more downvotes than upvotes. I know. So, what's the method behind their choices? I have zero clue, no idea. And it's just very strange to me. So at the very least, look in the description of this video. You'll see a link to this website. You can stay up to date with all the newest submissions, keep up to date with all the skins the skin creators are producing. It's not hard to navigate. It's really easy. So give that a good look. And also, make sure you keep an eye on the commits. We are seeing lots of interesting content being worked on, such as the new SKS weapon. Maybe it's a skin. Maybe it's a brand new weapon being introduced to the game. We shall see. But we're getting close to May 4 Swipe, and all the new content that will be prepared for that, well, they're currently working on it most likely. So keep an eye out, be up to date with all the content that's currently being worked on, and that is a wrap. So thank you very much for watching this video today. I greatly appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you don't like the skins that much, maybe just wait and see what happens next week. At the very least, keep an eye on the Rust Workshop. My name is Hedge. Thank you very much for watching. Best of luck with your investments. Catch you later. See you and goodbye.